It'll lead you to-
Yeah, pretty funny.
Go.
I'm here.
All set.
Okay.
We're gonna call this town board meeting to order. The fire exits are outside of that door and at each end of the hall. There is a defibrillator across the hall if one is needed. We will begin with a pledge of allegiance to the flag and a moment of silence for all deceased residents of Hamlin, especially two of our people who just passed in the last couple of weeks. Our former supervisor's son just died, and our fire marshal's wife just died in the last couple of weeks. So we say an extra prayer for that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will continue with our invocation from Pastor John Evel from Hamlin New Testament Church.
I have to remember more Chuck, I didn't realize it was Supervisor Peters. All right, so Father, we come to you sometimes overwhelmed with things that we experience in life, and yet our trust, our hope, and I know that trust and hope is in you. And so, Father, we look your way with which we need strength and comfort. Father, we pray for Pastor Nick now that you also touch his body. Lord, I ask for grace to be visited on this board, on this group of people that serves this community so faithfully and so well. Lord, I pray that you would give them wisdom as they make decisions that they would for a community that whose leadership honors you and blesses the people of the community. And I thank you that we have that in this group. In Jesus' name.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Arbut,
Here.
Wright,
Here.
Wolfgang, Jaeger,
Here.
Baz.
Here. We continue with the public forum. If you want to address the board, please do so as a whole board, not individuals. Try to keep it 3 to 5 minutes. We go a little over, it does. We may or may not answer questions, but I see that we have one person who wants to speak, Joe Hofschneider. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Thank you. From 5697 West Waptoma Beach Road. He wants to talk to us about his parcel of land and sewer charges. The floor is yours.
Alrighty, so I give you guys a map up there, kind of the property. My property, 5697 West Waptoma Beach Road, is indicated by the blue arrow on there. I own 3 parcels down there. It's a little over a half an acre. I currently, I get 3 separate property tax bills, and I'm being charged in every property tax bill for a sewer charge. It's like 2.5 sewer charges for all 3 parcels. The little one there that says 5699 on it, they went for a half a charge for $112. So altogether, it's $560 in sewer charges. I only have 1 house on the property, and I have 1 grinder on the property, which we currently use. I just don't feel that it's right that I'm being charged for, 2.5 sewer charges when I'm only using 1 grinder on the property. So I came tonight just to kind of put it before the board and see what you guys thought. We tried to do a courtesy merge of 2 parcels to make it so it's just 2 and possibly get 2 sewer charges, but I'm kind of, I just feel at this point I should only be charged for 1 sewer charge on the main property there, 5697, because that is the one that's connected to the sewer. But the county wouldn't let us do a courtesy merge due to something with how everything was, the parcels were split up down there. It's been in my family for 30 years and, you know, I just noticed it this year that I was being charged a little bit more due to the $75 change in the sewer charge, because they had to increase the price, and the assessment this year went up quite a bit, so I kind of just noticed everything on it this year.
The
So,
third is the 5695
Yep.
in the back.
in the back, yeah, that's the one I'm being charged fully on, so it's $224 for that one, and then $224 for the 5697, but the 5699 is $112.
Just so the board knows, we looked at this earlier, the assessor and I and stuff, and we did put a half on that one where the driveway and the camping trailer, whatever it is. That back parcel is, I think how many acres it is?
It's not, all of them combined together, it's a little over half an acre. It's like 0.67
Okay.
acres when you add all three parcels up.
But anyway, we did, okay, thank you.
Yep.
But I mean, that back parcel is big enough to put a house in. So, I mean,
0.44, I think back there, that's the biggest one.
right. So we still did it because on all the parcels down the way, if they were big enough to put a house in, I mean,
But you'd have to, if you did put a house back there, you'd have to go through 5699 for access.
yes.
There's a garage there, so I mean, ultimately, the right of way would have to come through 5697 too. You know, there's a little bit of slim there that you might be able to get through, but I think it's like 10 feet for a right of way driveway that you have to have. And between the property lines there, it's not 10 feet.
They say they didn't know, they said we did that. Just because we do it all the properties down the way. We're trying to keep everything equal. Not trying to do anything special for anybody. If you have a big enough property, you got, to hold a house, you got to charge for the OEDU.
We can definitely understand, you know, if we were pushing like, you know, over an acre with property, but it's not even, you know. That's why it just kind of seems like it's, wouldn't say getting taken advantage of the situation there, but, you know, I mean, if I were to put all of them together, then it would be one sewer charge. And, you know, I mean, if I go and do that, then I gotta pay surveyor to come out, I gotta pay all the fees for that. You know, at that point, I'm not really saving any money, all that, over the years of being charged the sewer tax. So, I mean, and if we were to sell that back parcel, I would probably end up having to sell my front parcel there too, but I've been in the family for 30 years, I just currently own it, you know, we don't plan on selling it anytime soon.
I said I advise him to see what it is. Because I didn't know if we could do pretty soon where the parcels touch each other.
Right.
It's not across the street, it's not nothing. When it was divided years ago, there must have been something that was different. I can't remember. Our assessor would explain it better, but it must be split up differently with the county and the laboratories.
So this other one, does that get built the same way?
That's what I was wondering, 5703. What's that?
I believe it does, yes. I do believe that it does. I cannot, right at this point, I will not say that, yes, absolutely it does.
You know, a lot of the properties down there, you can see it's all just one piece of property. You know, and we're getting charged for one sewer charge, where I'm paying, you know, 2.5 sewer charges. So I'm sure it's only, might probably go up over the years, you know, as things increase, prices increase, and, I mean, over time, that's definitely gonna add up. Last year, on the 2024 property tax, I got charged for a full parcel, a full sewer charge on that 5699. And I think last year it was $148 and some change, and I got charged for 3 of those last year.
Correct. We went through and redid some of those, some, because we found out that some of them were, you couldn't build a house on like down along, not so much your lakefront, but another lakefront, Shore Acres. There were some that were right next to a pond out front, and they had like about 10 feet off the road that,
For the property.
before you hit the pond, you could never put anything there.
Yep.
We did charge them half an EDU, but we didn't drop them down.
No, I mean, I can see both points of view on it, it's just, I just feel like with the given situation there, you know, we only have one sewer tank grinder on the property, and we are utilizing that, but I just don't see how we should be charged for both of those parcels on the sewer. You know, I mean, like I said, I can go through and get a surveyor and combine everything together, but I mean, at that point, I'm not really saving any money. So, just, you know, that's what I came here to kind of present tonight.
That back lot, where would you get to that, they built the house?
Probably on the side of his, where the blue mark is, it'd probably be with that driveway, close to that driveway, because he wouldn't put it right through where his house is. He lives there.
Yeah, I live there, and like I said, he got a garage on that back spot there. And between the property line of the garage for the back parcel and the one in my house, I don't even think it's 10 feet. So, you know, in order to have a right of way, you would have to have, I believe it is a 10-foot driveway, so you're a 10 or 12-foot driveway. And, you know, I mean, this driveway there goes with my house, so it's not like, you know, if we sold it, it would be sold as one, it wouldn't be sold off in separate parcels.
Yeah, how would you, that's what I'm saying, you'd have to marry it or something.
Right. You'd have to probably get a variance when it was correct.
I mean, I think that we've talked about this before. I don't know if this project was really engineered the best that it could have been. And I personally would be willing to look at properties like this. I don't think this is the only one that exists like that.
There is a right of way to that. See that little narrow thing to the left of it, that's a right of way.
I didn't have a chance to talk to him, you know, because I got this map a couple of times.
Yeah.
He was being charged for two.
I mean, I think we just had a water project presented to us that said any vacant properties will be charged half an EDU. So I think in keeping, if we're gonna keep consistent, we should do it with water lines, we should do it with sewer lines, and do half an EDU for vacant property. If someone puts something on it, well, then you add it in to the district.
But then we gotta do that for one lake,
I think
which
that would-
which will increase everybody by probably, by maybe another $70 if you put houses on the property.
Which I
Because
still,
somebody's
I
got-
think
somebody's
would be
gotta
the right
pay
thing to do. I mean, I think if someone's using it and they have a grinder pump, that, you know, they can't really complain about paying a little extra, as opposed to someone who has a completely vacant piece of property who's paying for it. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I feel like I've been around this mountain before, a lot. But, I don't know, so I'd be willing to look at the lakefront as a whole, look at vacant properties, do a half an EDU for vacant, that's my,
Well, that's what I was gonna say to you, not to put you off or anything, but for us to do this, we'd have to look at the total lakefront as a whole.
Yeah.
About changing every vacant property on the whole lakefront, the whole 10 miles of lakefront.
Mm-hmm.
Changing that all, and then changing everybody's taxes and everything along with it.
Yeah.
Is that a thing we're gonna do tonight? Probably not.
Yeah, obviously, you know, I mean, that's gonna take time, is it gonna be before, you know, next year when the property taxes?
We can bring it up, oh, absolutely, we can bring it up before that.
I mean, I don't wanna go down there and hurt everybody else's wallets because of my, you know, my parcel of property on there, it's just, you know, I feel, you know, if somebody has one parcel of property that's more than mine, they're getting charged one sewer tax, you know, where mine is just a little over, half.
Just by the way the lot lines.
Yeah, just by the way my lot lines are, and I can't even courtesy merge them because of,
If you were to courtesy merge, would you merge all three into one, or would you just merge the
5695 and the 5699 together?
The plan was just to do the 5699 and the 5695 together. That was the initial plan, was just to courtesy merge those and keep the house on a separate one. You know, obviously, if we sold it, but it would be all sold as one if I did go through to sell it.
That's the one they told you you couldn't do.
Yeah, that's the one they told me I couldn't do. Mhm.
See, my interpretation of vacant property that you will put a house on is one that does not need any variances, does not need, it has a right of way already. This has to get a variance, and, you know, you have to change a
Yes.
right zoning law. So to me, you wouldn't go, when I say, well, can you put a house on a piece of property? Yes, and it all should be something you can do right then, not have to go out to the planning and zoning board and change all this stuff. So when I look at this, no, you really can't. You can do additional things to try to put that on. But you don't, this really, you couldn't put a house on once he goes through everything else.
Right, he'd have to go before his zoning board and do that. Right, I agree.
What's in the barn back there?
It's just a garage you keep lawnmower and stuff in, you know, I mean, I think it's 20 by 15. So,
It's hard to tell with the pictures.
yeah, the Google Earth sometimes is good and sometimes it's not.
We're talking about. Well, I think it's before zoning board for,
Excuse me.
I work for property purchase, not person property. So, you know, it applies here, I don't know what.
Well, he could do that, but he'd still have to pay the, he's trying not to pay
Get a
the
surveyor.
surveyor thousands of dollars as well.
Okay.
Courtesy
Yeah.
merge is free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, right, he would still have to come before the planning or whatever and do it, even after the surveyor.
Well, yes. That does not require a public hearing.
Right, but that,
Well,
you gotta pay the surveyor.
You're just eliminating a lot here.
Courtesy merge is free, surveyor is thousands.
I don't know. I mean,
Can't do it without a surveyor.
you know, just to take the lot line out.
Right, I don't believe you can. I believe you have to have a resurvey. I mean, we don't have to decide this now, because this will,
Yeah, I'd like-
every house down there, but.
I'd like to do a little more research.
I've already got the numbers from Liz on how many parcels it would actually apply to. It's untrue. And I don't think the amount there would increase. I think Steve's right, it's somewhere, you know, I think it's under $100. So I don't think that. One thing Liz has said is like, you know, when you assess a home, you don't assess like what's the potential, you assess what's there. What's currently there. Like you don't go and say like, I'm gonna assess this piece of property, because they could eventually put a
Right.
house on it.
Right,
Do
right.
what's currently there at the time. I kind of feel like these should work the same way, like, is there something there? Is there a house there that could be serviced by a sewer? Yes, you get a full shot. Is it a vacant piece of property with potential down the road? Yes, but it's vacant currently,
Yeah, if you
How
put a
could you
house there,
charge?
then it's a full.
then you add that.
Definitely kind of agree with her point, you know, but it's also what determines a vacant lot, like you were saying, you
And I
know.
don't think it's a vacant lot to me where you put a house on, that, you can do it like that.
A vacant lot doesn't have a structure.
Right.
Right, but you still would have to go through, you know, some other additional work to be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah. So when somebody says, well, can you put a house there? Well, no, you can't, because you'd have to give all this other stuff approved. So in that way, I'm saying, no, you can't put a house there.
Well, I think you're thinking buildable lot versus vacant, like, you know, is it a buildable lot that's vacant, or is it a non-buildable lot?
Right.
I think those are two different things too.
what's not buildable right now until you can get a variance. I mean, that's not necessarily, it should be, I mean, I think that's a good thing. I think there's one, whichever you're saying, but with something like this, it can't be, you'd have to go to the front of the zoning board, you would have to do a lot of more.
Yeah.
Right,
additional
it's
work, so to me, it's not a
Not a
lot,
buildable lot.
not a buildable lot, so would you charge it as a non-buildable lot, you would.
I mean, I guess, like historically, what has happened with the water lines on non-buildable lots, are they charged a half a
Us- Usually most of them are charged, the farmers are the ones who charge half of the, right? I think it's the farmers that get charged half of the general public gets charged full. I'm pretty sure.
for a non-buildable lot?
I thought it was a barn, it was a half.
Right, because if you and Liz are going through here and say, we're going to charge those that can put a house on it, that wouldn't be. That's what I'm saying, so this probably should have never been.
Well, I was, just for logistics, I'd like to ask Maureen if he takes this lot line out. You have to have a survey before we get a plan for second
That's what you should do. To take a lot line out of a map, you gotta have a survey to do it.
We always.
Cause you have to draw up another whole plan to give to the county. Cause then the county has to take it out of theirs.
Well, this isn't. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you've gotta go to the county, so I'm pretty sure you gotta get surveyed. But anyways, we can go round and round tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this at another point.
Yeah, when would that point be, just so I kind of have, you know, an idea of when I should come
We
back
should
and
probably
check
talk
out.
to Liz about this too.
Well, we gotta talk to our assessor and our attorney who's on vacation right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, within a month or so, or within a month, we'll give you a phone call and see where we are.
Okay.
Is there a
Okay?
phone number on that? Or
That's,
me or something?
yeah, I believe, was there a spot on there for it, or
No.
did I can write that on there, or I can give it to you?
Here, you wanna get him right, his phone number on it.
So you're saying a month from now, it should be.
I will call you and see where we are, but we need to probably talk to the assessor and our attorney.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys, thank you.
Is there anybody else in the public who'd like to speak? Seeing if there is no one else, we will close the public forum. Requesting town board resolution to approve the regular town board meeting minutes of January 29th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Robert,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Boco, Yeager, Mott's.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to approve the payment of bills from their respective funds.
Second.
Robert,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Boco, Yeager, Mott's.
Yes. No, I was not given the supervisor's report, so I can't get it to you.
Oh, okay, well,
She didn't give me a supervisor's report today.
cross that out.
Yep. We'll have to do it our next meeting. Okay, requesting town board resolution for purchase of one model PV 200 fuel site terminal with all associated hardware and software from S&W Services of Rochester. Products purchased through Sourcewell contract number 092920-DBR for a sum of $15,312, money to be used from account AA5132.40. This is for the fuel line down at the highway department. You can talk to our highway superintendent if you have any questions.
Just replaces the card part of it, the electronic part of it.
Yeah. He was looking at this how many years ago and it was enough that he said, we're just gonna leave it until it does die and if it
It's computer, I'm sorry, so it crashes, it's crashing.
So
It's gotta be at least,
So will
Dave,
we,
Dave Rose put it
how would
in.
this use
Oh,
the
my.
same way? It's-
Yeah, it's the same thing, it's just, that one's, 1991.
Well, I don't remember using it.
Well, it's the same thing, same cards. Not the same cards, you gotta buy
Yeah.
all new cards to go with it. These cards are, we programmed the card to a vehicle, but in the background, before you ever get the cards are programmed for your term. So you have to buy all new cards, set them all up for all the new vehicles. One thing that, I did reach out to the fire department and I looked at what they use for fuel and what we use for fuel, and they use about 10% of what goes through that. And we came to an agreement that we're gonna start picking up 10% of all these repair costs. Because I think that Steve had to put a new gasoline pump in.
He does it over, but
Yeah, the fire suppression system that costs us every year to have inspected, we just paid $2,000 to have the canisters hydro tested and recharged. And, we both use the system, it's time to come to an agreement. Steve believes that way back then, Dave Rose in the fire department worked it out, but there was never anything done. So that is one thing that I would like the board to look at is, I believe we should enter into an intermunicipal agreement with them on how we handle this. So as a board, it would need your approval for that, if it's something down the road.
it's something written for it.
Yeah.
When the attorney gets back and stuff, we'll, right down the road, when she gets back, and then we'll have to get an agreement written up here, right? Get a paper, black and
I could go see
white.
it.
Sure.
On company cost, right?
Okay, so move.
Second.
Robert,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wolfle, Jaeger.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to use ARPA money to make the following budget amendments. Increase revenue account A 0599.00 fund balance $16,661. Increase expense account A 7140.20 playground and rec equipment $16,661. And well, no, that's a budget amendment. Oh, we're gonna do them both at the same time. And for library, increase revenue account L 0599, fund balance $21,645. Increase expense account L 4710.416, heat and AC expense $21,645.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wolfle,
Yes.
Jaeger.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just the 16,000 was half of the playground system from there. And 21,000 for their heat. Just so it's clear. The town board resolution to accept a job description for superintendent as follows. And I did give this to our current sewer superintendent, who had delivered it. We looked at all this and everything. So I would stipulate as to what is written in here instead of reading the whole. It's just a job description. We don't have one on file just like the other one, so we're just gonna put it, ask the county to approve this. Once we approve it, just to get one on file.
Robert,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wolfle, Jaeger.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is there any other resolutions?
You know, we do it with my,
No, you can go right now with resolutions.
so I'm making a resolution to buy a animal trap, catch all the dogs and the strays that they've been finding. We had to do it the other day, to catch a dog in Sweden. We also have dogs here when they get somehow we're getting dumped out. We have to go, I tried to catch it, I couldn't catch it, but they put out these big traps They're $620. The money's gonna be taken out of the donation fund.
How many does he have now?
None.
We have none of those
We
trailers.
don't have the trucks. We don't have a,
Oh, I thought the Lions Club bought one.
They might have bought a cage, but not a trap.
it's a
They
truck.
borrowed it from the town of Webster. Webster, had to get out here and helped us.
Right.
When you're out there with the snow and everything, you're amazed at how many tracks are out there.
Yeah,
There's no
so,
people tracks.
this is
You're like,
like,
man, look at the size of those paw prints. Keep waiting for one to come up behind me and have dinner.
yeah, they're hard, I mean, we always had to borrow one, we never had one. So there's $620, and so I'm gonna make a resolution to take $620 out of the donation fund to buy is it animal trap? And I'll do the numbers, GT 6100. I don't have, wait. We get it right away.
Yeah. they go-
He just wants one.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're expensive, so we would get
Brooklyn,
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
Poco, Baker,
Yes.
Bud.
yes.
We keep going on the board.
No, I gotta ask if there's any more resolutions. Anybody else got any resolutions? Okay, seeing if there is no more, then yes, now, we will go with our reports, Joe. Thank you.
All right, so we have 5 calls, 10 calls from Hamlin, 0 dogs were at the shelter, 1 dog was adopted, 2 dogs were deemed to owner, 2 vet appointments. Total number of dogs at the shelter were 3. We're out at Clarkson 4 times, this past month and 5 times in Newton. I'd like to note that Mike Lee donated $1,500 to buy the other kind of, the back traps we had for the truck, he donated just for that. We had 21, we wrote 21 tickets. Move on. That was for now. On this. In zoning, my favorite board, they don't mention it all, but, okay. There was an area variance at 3022 Brick Schoolhouse Road. This is to build a barn. They're doing equine therapy there for vets and first responders. So they scheduled a public hearing for February 18th after 7 p.m. We did 2 coastal erosion permits, one at 6314 Shore Acre Drive. That's for an addition. And another permit for a generator, which I think we talked about this before, about trying to, for generators, this, where they don't have to go to zoning. I think we brought this up, I know Norm has brought it up before, that why would they have to come to the zoning board just to get a
We
generator?
can talk about that during the zoning meeting.
Yeah, just so we can, I think we're gonna get a lot more of these, and it's just.
They'll still probably have to get a permit just so we can inspect it.
Right.
Maybe not everybody's on.
Yeah, but it just stops it from happening.
Right.
At the library, they offered a program called Dog Man. It wasn't there, so I don't know what it was. It's a picture, I have a picture of Dog Man, and all the kids look like they have spots on their faces, so I'm sure it was a really nice thing. They were visited by a therapy dog, they had a memory game, button making, green screen pictures, and they get to hang out with the dog. Main character, they also have a mammogram van, I guess that was pretty successful here. And they're gonna come back, I think the next time it's gonna be Clarkson. So they're trying to get all the west side folks, so I was full for the whole day. And the library system now is offering Udemy, which is a adult online learning platform. UDEMY. It's got 45,000 on-demand videos, and and also 75 categories in 15 different languages. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Councilperson Volkel.
Is Dave billing for these use of trucks? Is he doing mileage or what is he doing?
We do per trip.
For a flat?
It's a flat fee per trip.
Um,
I don't remember, it's 2015 or 2020. Sweden pays $5 when it's 20, because it's $5.
I think annually we should, talk about it before, but look at these contracts, because I mean, Sweden and Clarkson are using the truck pretty much as so I think, plus, we're buying stuff like this, kennel for tracking and all that costs, but they, reap the benefits of the adjustment. The Chamber of Commerce still hasn't met, it's supposed to meet in February, this month, next week, for breakfast. Yeah, when the contractor wants to get in there to do all the interior work.
He won't until springtime, because he knows we gotta do everything outside to him. So not during the winter, not when there's snow on the ground, no.
No, I know that, but I'm wondering because, Recreation had sent an email asking if the kids from camp can come out again this year, and like what a good time would be. So I don't want to lock in a date with Recreation and then have the whole like rework.
We'll just stay away from recreation. If what would it only be, one day?
It's just a day, yeah.
So we'll stay away from that. We'll tell the contractor to stay away from it as far as,
We can
Put the
push
date
it,
down
we
right-
can push it till the end of summer, I mean, they're there.
yeah, but I mean, as far as implementing, we don't know if snow's gonna disappear,
Right.
and
Well,
so,
it's, it'll probably be done by August, I would assume, right?
probably.
Yeah,
So if you late August, I mean, they're in summer camp till Labor Day.
There's a couple different people that have to there's be a couple companies.
We don't have to do it till summer.
Okay.
So we'll have to get the box storage.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
Like-
want to lock in a
like
date with rec and then have it.
Whatever that date, so we all be there and hopefully.
Plus, we have to empty the attic too, there's a lot of stuff up in the attic.
Not unless you need to throw it away, but no, we don't have to.
We already.
Is it something that we should talk to the contractor and get it?
I don't know if you can give you a solid date right now.
I don't know, I'm just wondering.
So look, recreation is, the contractor is probably flexible, probably recreation is a little bit, so. we'll work
I just
around-
need 2 week lead off so I can schedule the bus.
We'll work around each other.
As it gets closer.
Yeah, as it gets closer, we'll work around each other.
So the History Center is open the second and fourth Sundays for open hours from 2 to 4. You're talking about that thing. No. 2 to 4, the History Center is open, the second and fourth Sundays for open house. And Dave wants to start the committee meetings back up again. So I'm thinking March.
Now, let's
Councilperson Wright.
see. The Hilton Parma Fire District meeting is Wednesday, so. The senior group has booked their extra trip that they had coming. Deputy Clark will be coming in March. And this month, meeting, they'll have the information on honor flight. And then Jackie Smith is taking her dad on the honor flight. Liz came to the January meeting and it was really beneficial. She must have had 20 or 30 people at the table when she had all the paperwork. Even the people I was sitting with, they had no idea about what that all meant for taxes and everything. Conservation Board, they talked about Area 1 was closing for the construction, but the rest of the park is still open. because there was confusion the last time. They also talked about having the need of a fifth board member. I think they all felt that everybody, that they wanted to have one. I know we talked about doing it at 4, but we, VFW, the first Monday of the month, they had a lot more people this time. They had people come and go. For everybody that doesn't know it, if you're a vet, doesn't matter if you're a member or not a member, or here or somewhere else, and you can bring a guest for the first Monday of the month. I gave Colleen the menu for the rest of the year. It had sausage and sauerkraut, and that's all mashed potatoes with it. Wasn't too bad. Let's see here. They're gonna have the breakfast with Santa scheduled for December 7th. So they lost $25, I believe. They didn't make any money on it. They had hardly anybody show up too, so.
For breakfast with Santa?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know if it was the timing, it was right before Christmas, so so that's why they wanna go a little bit earlier date. I don't know what that means for, like, what our date's gonna be for Christmas.
Maybe we said or 7.
Yeah. 'Cause that's what it was, right? I don't remember what
Yeah, I think it was the 6th this year.
Yeah.
Maybe so. We haven't done date meetings, right? We need to.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen next Wednesday.
Yeah, our meeting's next Wednesday. It's been really phone tag with this company called Hometown Heroes for the banners, because the other company that they had to go with to make new banners, they only do current vets and not retired or people from World War II, Vietnam, all that. We had our meat raffle on Saturday. We had a really decent turnout considering how much it snowed. Hamlet Ambulance, they had 113 calls for January. It was the most that we've ever had. It was an 8.6% increase over 2024. We also have their new monitors in place on the rigs. And the Vice President, Scott, and the Director of Operations, Mike, will be coming to our February 26th meeting.
Are they also keeping track of the ODs and the North
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that's in their reports.
And that goes to the county?
Yeah.
Lately, that's what they're showing. The county, we're not getting every town.
They're not getting every town.
No.
No, that's something we can ask the operations guy. Or, and that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Councilperson Hurlbach.
Hamlin Morton Walker Fire District, they've had 19 calls year to date as of the 20th of January. Planning Board, I left my notes in another notebook, so I'm going to show you the planning board minutes that are online. And Farmland Protection Plan, we got a revised rough draft from our engineer. That's been emailed out to the steering committee. We're going to have a meeting next week, February 18th at 7 o'clock in the gym to the steering committee to review that. It's 102 pages long. I'd be happy to forward it to you guys if you're interested in taking a look at it. And we'll see what the steering committee comes up with, if they have any changes, and hopefully we can get a public informational meeting on that scheduled shortly.
He hasn't gotten them yet. They're supposed to go out.
Mine.
Yeah.
As of today, I haven't gotten them.
They said they would have had them out by now, so I'll have to call them up and see where they are.
And then I got my notes from last year, because I copied one book over. We started to talk about the mowing and stuff. So I don't know if it's too early yet.
It's a little bit early yet. I mean, because
I know
then,
we did it kind of late, and the lawns were kind of long by the time I got it, so.
beginning of February is a little bit early.
Yeah, I just, to give them whoever time.
Yeah, we're gonna maybe do it next meeting or first meeting in March or something. It'll be April, so. And we don't even know yet which paper, whatever we put it in
Well,
either.
that's still right.
so we're holding off right now.
All right, our building inspector, Cheryl.
Okay, in Talis Winter, we only issued 13 permits in the past month. For evaluation received 592. Minimum evaluation went to 19.5. Issued 11 C of Os and C of Cs, which also includes like C of Os for special use permits. 137 phone calls into the office. Sent out 9 violation notices. It's down because winter. Can't really see a lot of things. I do have one resident before the court for a trial to get outdoor storage of junk. It's supposed to be tonight. It's going to be Monday the 24th, 6 o'clock. More than one to be there, so we change the date. We mentioned last time that I'm taking the yearly classes for LOA, for 24 hours of training required. And I've also enrolled in these boot camp classes at MRBs and UBs. They're on different topics, held once a month, and there are support board members currently that are also participating with their 4 hours of recorded credits. And I have one coming up, I think it's maybe next week, or the week after, just once a month for 1 hour. You can do it from home. And I would give, and then that's it.
Great, thank you.
Highway Superintendent, Mike German.
Really, all we've been doing since the last meeting is maintaining roads. I think everybody is aware of the issue of road salt in this area, state. The big we're looking at, some things that we had to make decisions on last week, was deciding what roads we weren't going to be salt and solid. The state roads are pretty much, most all of them get salted solid. There's a few county ones that don't. What I came up with for a plan is the board has an objection. We're cutting back to salting Route 18, Route 19, Brick Schoolhouse from the creek to West Fork, and West Fork from Brick Schoolhouse to 19. Those roads will still be salted solid. Everything else is hills, curves, and intersections. We do have salt on hand that we're safe. We started bringing in sand today, the next year the salt. And we had the company from Lindenville that we use coming and spray pest control chemicals on everything today. Cycle of getting orders completed. So we're a lot better than most places, but still very cautious about what we do. So, if you have any concerns about areas and you want to talk to me, I'm open to what everybody thinks.
Just the working lot, that's the only thing. I don't know what, if you're changing that at all, but.
Well, like Steve and I talked, lightening up a little bit in the parking lot.
Yeah, they went a little bit much, but but like today it was pretty dicey out there.
So if anybody has any other concerns, I'm glad to hear people opinions, and not easy decisions to make. I don't remember ever having to do this. Steve and I have been through stuff where, we had to borrow salt from the town of Clarkson one time to get through. We've done all this, but I don't think to this magnitude.
How are the other towns with their supply?
The town of Harmon had nothing this morning. Town of Sweden is kind of staying in pace with us. There's bigger towns in this county that are doing less than we're doing. It's all over. It's just, it's a matter of if you're diligent to stay on top of it.
There's quite a bit of winter to go yet.
There's quite a bit to go. They're hard decisions to make. We had to sit down today as a crew because one of my guys was one of the first ones on scene over here the other day, and there's a lot of community that really should be, and I respect that, and they do have to be safe.
I was gonna say, I think safety is like just the
Yeah.
main driver.
There's no question that they have to be safe. The reality in this town is we face it a lot of times because when the wind picks up, we can't solve these roads. So it's not, people aren't used to it, they don't necessarily like it, but we gotta make sure that the material in our barn that we have.
Question, Drake Road with the mobile home park.
I know, I thought about that, and that road needs to be addressed first thing in the morning because I was on it this afternoon, but
No, but I mean, you included Brick Schoolhouse for the
yes.
mobile home park at Brick Schoolhouse, but
Yeah.
should we include Drake Road between 18 and Brick
Yeah.
Schoolhouse? I wouldn't go farther up probably, but.
No, we'll stop at 18, that's the same thing, like I say, I was on it this afternoon and.
Is this basically being blamed on just supply and demand? Poor
There-
supply,
There,
and the demand's obviously really high?
there, if you listen to the mine, their press releases, they're almost not taking blame for anything. It's all demand, which we have to put in our request for what we want in the summer, I guess probably in August, earlier than that, June.
May, I think.
Yeah, and so for us, our request is normally 2,000 tons a year. We are still on, this 400 tons will put us at that if we get it all. That's what, I don't know, out here it hasn't been that bad because everybody adjusts to it. But the mine here that we get salt from, if you go on their website, they supply Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland.
I assume it's Mount
everything
Morris?
up the coast to Maine, yep,
Oh, really?
and into Canada. There's a big area. There's some smaller mines around, but they're a lot smaller. They don't produce a lot of material. And material comes in on barges into the Port of Buffalo, but that mine is pretty much the sole source.
I have friends going to Pennsylvania to truck it back because they, obviously, they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to get their hands on it.
I feel for the contractors, at least us, it's there. And you just tell them where you stand. They want to make sure you're not stockpiling it. It's open to us, but there's contractors that, our own assessor, her husband is responsible for all the salting at General Motors in Rochester, and he's got nothing. We're better than them.
Do you want to ask something?
Yeah, just about the snow fences, like how do you determine where they go? Because I've noticed some spots where they are. I know you said in the past you don't think they're super effective, but I can tell.
Well, they're effective on years like this.
I can tell where they are and where they're not for sure, and it gets really like
But where they're,
dicey in spots where it's not.
where they're not is we can't put them on fields with winter crops. It's really the places that they're not. Dayton County roads, they're anywhere where there's not a winter crop. This year there were fields that were too muddy to get on, there were fields that were too hard to push stakes in at the same time. And we have a resident on 19 that there was a crop on the field, and I didn't know what it was. It was winter wheat, and when it ground out, I called the farmer, and he says, no, you can put it on there, but it was too late. It was already too frozen.
Supervisor Kaylee.
We're just busy getting ready for summer, as crazy as it sounds, summer camp planning, summer sports planning, the next brochure will be coming out April, May, and June, and then all our events, so it's not crazy, but calling and booking petting zoos and getting vendors and all of that stuff with my mom, like trying to figure out the cell, and trying to figure out what I'm doing about it. So, lots of just busy work for the back of the middle, getting ready to go.
And then,
Your last spot's coming in, which is really good.
Okay.
Um,
Rob,
The only
Anything
mention I
else?
was gonna say was I wondered if we were advertising for the open position on the conservation.
that's why I called
So,
that. Are we, no, I mean, you guys have decided that you need that.
I was not at the last meeting.
Yeah, he was,
I was excused.
Oh, okay.
I was south of the border, but it sounds like everybody seemed to be on
yeah,
the same page of a fifth is nice.
they were kind of like wondering if they were gonna get one.
do they just feel like,
Well,
do they just feel like they need someone
I
for
guess
when
'cause,
someone's
like,
out?
Because there's times when, you know, like Rob can't be, there's like, seems like there's always somebody that, for whatever reason, like Steve has other meetings he has to go to. He's worried that like, if one person's sick or somebody's not there for whatever reason. then-
but again, we're doing the same old thing, which I'm not saying that we shouldn't advertise, but with the paper, let's go and talk, wait for our attorney, she's supposed to check on it, to see what's going on with the paper. Because West Side News may not be delivering anymore. And they're not, they will at like gas stations here, but no more than the houses. So we're in the middle of deciding where we're advertising right now and stuff as a town also. I mean, or whether we just put it online or something, or, but I think to advertise for a job, we have to put in something in the paper. We need to check on that for right now, so, but let us check on where we can advertise right now, and then we can, okay?
Fair enough.
Okay. You don't wanna waste our money either, in case of.
Right.
All right, our town clerk.
We've been busy today. Today was the deadline for taxes. We only gotta do a little bit over $1 million to collect, which is better than last year where we are at this point, so we're doing good. So that's basically all we're doing in our office for the last week.
That's it? I've been busy just trying to get everything done with the beginning of the year. There's, you know, we've been talking about getting grants for a park, for playground equipment down the schoolhouse road, so we're looking into that. Every other thing, funds and everything for getting, for Weiler Road Bridge, or got the paperwork and everything for that. And just a whole bunch of different projects we have going on right now. The water line, we're getting questions on that and everything. Sewer, I'm getting a bunch of questions that you saw tonight about sewer charges and everything, and we did raise the rates and with everything else. And so we're been working a lot of stuff like that in there right now. And that's about my discussion, or my report. Is there anybody want discussion? Any update discussions?
She's cleaning, so.
Phil,
That's why you're pointing, I was like, why are you pointing?
we all want Phil's job.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.